All right, folks, and we are back again here from the flagship Microsoft store in New York, live from the Mixer NYC studio. It's the ESL Pro League Relegation, and we've got Space Soldiers and NaVi duking it out in a series that was expected to be a quick 2-0 for NaVi, but has now turned into a series that's gone the distance and has gone all the way to map 3, with Space Soldiers taking the most recent map, our most recent map, excuse me, 16 to 14.
Yeah, Mirage, which we kind of talked about it, like it really isn't a map that favors NaVi so much. It favors Space Soldiers way more. It's a much better map in general, at least for them. And we've seen them have really good performances on it the whole LAN since they got here for the MDL Global Challenge, and now also transitioning into the Pro League relegation matches. But now we move on to a different map, and I don't know. I still favor NaVi in the series.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
going
on to a map like Train, we're probably going to see NaVi just come out on top. I feel like Simple down towards the alley, maybe even Edward, Zeus. We're going to see some huge plays out of the IGL. I mean, Zeus won the major on Train, right? Do you guys all remember that when they were down and Zeus took that tech pause, brings it right back, and Gambit ends up winning out. So I have no doubt going into Train that NaVi will be another confident team. However, Space Soldiers faced off against AGO. AGO ends up beating them on Train again. But I feel like AGO's Train was so strong that Space Soldiers will be able to compete here with NaVi.
There's one caveat to that. These two teams played on Train. It's about 2 months ago now, and Space Soldiers won. The 16-9.
It was online, though.
Yes.
Yeah, it was online during the WCA qualifier, and NaVi had Kalinka playing.
Yes, but it's just something you can point out. You can
asterisk.
be like, asterisk.
I think it's okay. I brought that up earlier.
I'm putting an asterisk
we
over
can kind of include this one because it says NaVi on it. But yeah,
it exists. Right. We'll make sure that exists.
It's there.
It's on the board somewhere.
So with that there, so to ask you both of you guys this, if there is what is the one thing that we need to see from Space Soldiers in this map to push them over the edge and allow them to complete this upset, if there was to be that one thing?
I think that all 5 players are going to have to be playing phenomenally. The last map we saw Major and Xantares come to play. Here on a map like Train, where your CT side, one person dying, let's say towards the T-Con, towards the ladder, opens up such a hole in your defense. Every single player right now for the Space Soldier side needs to be playing on all 4. Like, they need to be going right to the wall. Insane play right now.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think we need to see Electronics step up again.
Yeah.
You know, Electronics' performance was really weak in that last map. I'm also looking at the AWP presence, obviously being on a map like Train. The AWP is going to be a heavy dominant force, so Simple can have some fun with that AWP.
And look for the double AWP setup right away on the CT side to come from both teams. Maybe even auto sniper. This is a relegation match, and you want to stay in Pro League. I'm buying an auto sniper.
I have no problems with it. And in fact, it was meta for a while for some of the pro teams. Like Dignitas used to love picking it up, so did NIP. I remember watching countless times where Force would have a Scar 20 on Train. It wasn't an issue because it's such a powerful gun. And I think like one of the more interesting games we saw was, I think, last season's relegation matches, where I believe it was Splice. They were playing to keep their Pro League spot. If I'm not mistaken, it was something along those lines. But I remember Arya bought a Scar 20 in the 2nd round, and it lasted into like round 9. For 7 straight rounds, he had a Scar 20, and they couldn't do anything. They can't stop it.
No, because I mean, 2 shots, you're able to pick up that kill right away. You're able to fall back on a map like Train, where all it is straight up angles, looking down. If you're inside and you have an inner rush come to you and just spraying down towards that lower with an auto sniper, if you don't get a kill, you're guaranteed to maybe hit 2 or 3 people right away for 50, 60 damage.
It's a full auto scout almost.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. Well, any other key players that we want to be paying attention to for the viewers at home going into this map now, specifically in the context of this map?
In my opinion, I already mentioned Simple. You know, we already talked about him running around with the AWP. But the big thing I would have to say is just the IGLing of Zeus here is what we're going to have to watch, how he commands his force on Train, because Train is a very crucial map in the sense that your IGL, your in-game lead, your strategies can really pick apart a CT side depending on what you do. I mean, creating presence towards the Ivy, moving the people, creating presence towards inner, and just even sometimes walking out inner late round, out the inner upper, and catching that inner guy off. I feel like that's going to be very crucial to the map, and I feel like Zeus is going to have great strength in just commanding his team to do so.
Yeah, I think the other thing is that he needs to keep his forces rallied. He can't let things kind of deteriorate. That's what's happened the last 2 maps. You know, we've seen NaVi get off to a strong start and then Space Soldiers slowly get back into the game. That can occur, especially on a map like Train. If that happens in the first half and NaVi gets like 9 straight rounds and it ends 9-6 and then they go maybe to the T side or something like that, if that happens, that's really problematic. And it would be Space Soldiers essentially getting revenge for what happened to them earlier, where that was the case for them. They were up 11-4 and they lost 16-12.
Yeah, I feel like definitely you want, like, if you go up 9-0 and you lose those last 6 rounds, that's a complete momentum shift. You might have won the half, but going into that second half, you just lost 6 rounds in a row. In your head, you're like, well, they just got the easy side, and they just built up so many rounds on us. How are we going to play this? So I definitely feel like NaVi, with that lead, need to maintain it and finish it out strong. So that 9-0 start needs to end, let's say, 11-4, rather than them getting 6 rounds and catching up. They need to keep their spread when they get that spread.
All right, guys. Well, it's almost match time now. So let's get some predictions onto the board here really quickly. Who do we think is taking this one?
I think it's going to be NaVi again, just because I feel like they're the more experienced team. That last Mirage match, I felt like a couple crucial mistakes was what costed NaVi the match. But I'm going to say 16-12 for NaVi.
Fanboy.
Oh.
I'm actually
consistent.
I'm picking Space Soldiers. I actually
You're going Space Soldiers.
I think Space Soldiers can take this. It's going to be really close. It's 60-13.
Okay.
Maybe it pushes to OT, because it's just, we've seen time and time again how NaVi kind of like gets ahead of themselves and then ends up falling over, and Space Soldiers gets back into the game. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens all over again.
All right, well, let's see what the Betway odds have to say about that. And the numbers.
Wow. Oh, look at that.
Ooh, they've shifted a little bit.
Look at how close. This is the closest we've seen it all series.
Well, it was like 6.0 in the last map for Space Soldiers. So, like, that was a pretty good bet for somebody.
Last map was the time to get in on the Space Soldiers odd. But sadly, that time is up now, and it's going to be our time up as well, as it's time to send it over to our casters now. Moses and Launders, are you guys ready up there to bring the folks at home one final match?
Yes, we are. Box obviously lost his mind.
Yeah, he has.
He's done. It's been a long day for him, I think.
Very, very long, yeah.
He's... Anyways, third map. I guess anything can happen there. So fair play, but great comeback from Space Soldiers in the last map. I think it was 10-1 at one point for NaVi, and they still lost that, so that's pretty sick.
At least they get to end on that note.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, yeah, I mean, you know, it's train. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a stretch for Space Soldiers. I mean, I didn't even favor Space Soldiers on this map versus AGO. So.
Yeah, that's true. And also, I mean, this is a map. Remember, the former NaVi on this map was like known for just being able to bang out T rounds at will.
Yeah.
Like this was the map where they were just so difficult on to beat on. So, in that sense, you have to imagine there's going to be a lot of experience here. The op factors coming back into it if Simple can get going. Because the funny thing was, Major was the best opper on Mirage.
That's true. Wow, scary thing to think about.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit. So, perhaps Bach not as crazy as we initially thought, now that we put it into words, but it is that third and final map. Remember, as well, this is not like the be-all, end-all of relegation. The winner of this does not get moved up. The loser is not eliminated and put down to Mountain Dew League.
We will cast as if it were.
Yes, okay. From now on out, we make that assumption. But it is a full double elimination bracket that we played later since Godsend had all those travel issues. Regardless, when you are fighting for a spot in ESL Pro League, you don't want to drop any of those series. You just want to make it nice and easy on yourself moving forward.
I like this purposeful head hair that Xanteris has going on. That's
quite nice. Looks good.
Or head hair, bed head hair.
It's like a wannabe samurai type thing going on.
Yeah, there we go. Samurai shampoo. You watch anime? Do you think it was a mistake? Where do you stand on it?
I don't actually watch anime.
Okay.
I tried to get into anime. I really gave it a good effort. I feel like I put in about like a year or so of trying to get an anime. I could just never find one that I actually.
A year of trying to get into an anime. I mean, what does that mean?
Going from like anime to anime, trying to get lured in.
Okay, so you're just like watching series.
Like 3, 4, 5 episodes of something.
You're just plowing through series all year.
I was working on it.
You know what? I don't like this.
I've only made it through one, and I can't remember the name of it.
Dragon Ball Z. There, hooked you up.
That was actually pretty entertaining.
It's not a real anime, by the way.
All right, well, proving my point now, aren't we? This has been fun, Launders, this anime talk. Map is just getting restarted, and we will get right back into it. The knife round's already completed, so we're just waiting for the players to all rejoin. There's 8 in at the moment, and then we'll get going for you guys on this third map. I believe Space Soldiers looks like they're going to be starting on the CT side, so having a little bit of an easier time. I think that's the big thing we need to talk about is the T side for NaVi on Mirage failed them so completely. Like that shouldn't happen. It almost feels as a team that in the past, and especially with Zeus coming back in and his kind of leadership that has been so much emphasis has been placed on it, they should be able to put some T rounds on the board.
Who was it that said? Was it Snappy or there was somebody who said that NaVi just felt like tactically the least deep they've ever been or something when Zeus came back? You remember?
I'm not sure.
Somebody who brought that up. It was I don't know if it was a player who played with them or it's just a player who played against them, but said they were in rough shape. Maybe that was just because they like had just reconvened, but
yeah, I mean, obviously there was going to be a learning curve, and especially when you have someone like Simple and Electronic, those guys need a bit more freedom than Zeus is probably used to giving to people. So trying to find a comfortable middle ground between the old methodical tactical style and a bit more freedom. This is looking fast-paced from Major, jumping out mid very quickly, getting into what can be referred to as Olaf spot. The rest have taken over box halls very early on. There's 5 players with armor on the CT side, and Flamey is going to get that initial kill. Headshot onto Major. He's the one who lurked out quickly. And now there's no more presence for Space Soldiers anywhere on the map.
Yeah, they're really committed here. Top ladder, going for the drop. And yeah, they get it, no casualties. That's good. That's a 4-4.
We're seeing pretty much every team these days do that drop. I don't think anyone on the CT side has really figured out how to stop it, which is kind of good because having a defender in ladder room is almost unstoppable.
Yeah, I mean, Fur deals with it. He lines up the bottom guy and then doesn't move his crosshair, and they just fall into like Goombas.
Well, Xantares takes out Simple. And now they've gotten aggressive. They've pushed all the way down these lanes. And what are you going to do if you're Navi in this situation? You're getting picked off at range, Paz with the USP. And Space Soldiers, it looked like they were going to have a very bad day today, but they have got into the last map. That was their first map win of 4. And they're going to win this initial pistol round on train on the T side.
Yeah, they definitely do. Edward would have loved to just take that fight. Falls back to a new angle, and we'll try again.
Didn't work out for him, did
no,
it? No, Calyx drops him with a nice headshot. So 1-0 for Space Soldiers. They get started on a good foot. Previous map, they traded pistol rounds, both when they're CT pistol rounds. So Space Soldiers starting this one off quite well. They're going to get the AKs out, 2 MAC-10s. Navi's been investing in these second rounds, and that's not going to change here. Everyone buying up except, nope, Simple buys up in the end as well. No armor, though, on that Deagle.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know how much.
I like that compromise.
Yeah,
someone you expect is going to have an AWP.
Yeah, so is he going to have an AWP because he spent half his money?
We shall see. At the moment, it's pretty decent trading back and forth. Space Soldiers, good that they recover Edward. They get that kill on him because he had the bomb above the ladder room, and Flamey's now pinned down in that outer bomb site. Now Simple's going to get involved in the action. Paz looking for this peek, and he spots the shoulder before Simple can swing out too wide. 2 kills for Paz, and although there's some kills that go out, the danger has kind of faded away. The bomb's going to be planted. The Deagle can't land any shots onto Major, so 2-0 for Space Soldiers, only losing the MAC-10s.
Yeah, it started off tricky, but they only lost 2 people and landed on their feet, so that was good. They didn't have to plant the bomb, and Navi maybe would have liked to get an extra kill. I was wondering because, you know, if your opera's saving, I'm not going to do the quick math here, but if your opera's saving, he's not going to spend any money on the second round,
You just don't want to get
right?
caught out being wrong with the quick math.
Absolutely. I mean, that's no secret, Jason.
Fair play. I think he'll be able to have the op. There's a nice shot from Major. Headshot onto Flamey, tapping away at long range, but there's just too many targets for him to shoot at after that. Again, that's an AK that they can recover. Calyx has the MAC-10, can trade that over easily. Zeus going to try and put a stop to this, but USP not doing the damage needed. Here comes the op on Simple.
Snap it into existence. That's a no armor op. I mean,
do it.
Yeah, he could. He's thinking about it. There it is.
Do it.
Okay.
We'll see if that helps out. Space Soldiers so far 3-0 lead. They have all the utility they could want. 5 Molotovs, 5 smokes. Nades on the Navi side are a bit rough. They do have a kit on Zeus, which is nice to see. He's that inner bomb site defender, but actually it's Simple going there. I believe that's Simple. At least to start things out with the AWP. Zeus not having a smoke to fall back with if he gets into pressure.
Oh, this is definitely what we've been waiting for. First rifle round of the half. Map 3. Many people didn't think that Space Soldiers would get this far. But they can't be content just yet.
I mean, it didn't look likely. There were times on Mirage it just seemed like that was going to be an easy breeze-through win for Navi. Space Soldiers stops them and gives them the privilege of playing a 3rd map. Simple still just holding inner, and there's been no presence there from Space Soldiers, so no reason for him to fall back, no reason to call that 4th player back from the outer bomb site. And here comes the slow pinch. 2 in ladder room, 2 down Ivy, and 1 in mid.
They have the rotates in. The IP's being played kind of passively, however. Flamey doesn't fully evacuate it. There it is. A lot of kills going down, and Engine is the last up. That green gets killed by Electronic. 3 alive for Navi. Op still in the hands of Simple, so, you know, minimal economic losses.
Armor up. Yeah, that worked out well. Nice job from Flamey. There was a big gap in that smoke, and when they tried to come around, I think that's how he got his first pick. But either way, hold it off quite nice. Space Soldier's not making a whole lot of progress, and now you can see the nades coming out a little bit more for Navi. The money has dwindled for Space Soldiers. Pretty much everyone right around the 500 mark, and looks like they want to pick up the pace. Paz is going to try and get out. He's been spotted. Off shot rings out, but doesn't get the kill. He's forced forward by a Molotov. Now it spreads, and he's got to go through his own smoke, and he's down to 17 HP. Surely not going to be able to get one, but he does. Flamey has 2. Paz still fighting for his life and almost gets another. That could have been massive, but it's just down to Major very quickly. And he's held at bay. Smoke's out. They might not know if he's fallen all the way back. You can see Electronic looking into the wall, trying to listen for those footsteps. 1 versus 3.
They did a great job putting a leash on that round. I mean, there was a lot of pressure from all sides, like Paz jumping out to Olaf right away, you know, and then fighting a kill as well, doing a bunch of damage to the Ivy player, having 2 people there ready to follow up behind him. You know, all those threats getting just dealt with right away. That was nice from Navi. I mean, that's kind of one of the rounds where you'd be most worried about them. So I think that's a good sign. Especially
if Flamey had like a very quick double kill, and if he's going to be guarding Ivy and he's going to be able to shut that down, that'll be so huge for Navi's defense moving forward. If Ivy is not an option for Space Soldiers where they just don't find success, that's a big piece of the puzzle towards that outer yard that they've kind of solved. Simple again to hold the lower ramp, and this time Paz is going to be, oh no, excuse me, it's Zeus. I'm getting that mixed up on the number that's far away from my face.
It's kind of interesting, like that spot. I mean, people take so much damage, you know, actually spotting that sometimes I'm like, is that even worth playing? Because really, all you have to do as a terrorist is just pass by it, and then they'll, you know, fall off, never peek it again.
Right.
For the rest of the round. But you see, like last round, they didn't peek it, and then it allowed Navi to play 4 outside. So.
Yeah, you have to have some kind of presence there. You have to pull that 4th player back, or else it's just going to be too hard to take the outer bomb site. You can double up on too many different positions. At least Paz here with a deagle at upper ramp is going to try and just kind of probe it and see what he can find, see how they kind of manage the rotates and they defend that inner sight. And all of Navi, they've kind of fallen all the way back. They're going to use the range of their rifles to kind of help out. This is the big peek, trying to pre-aim towards Connector. I don't think he spotted one, but he goes for the pre-fire. Smoke down at lower ramp.
They're in a retake situation. I mean, not totally dedicated. I mean, no one spools or anything like that, so the bomb could potentially go down.
Space Soldiers is trying to fake this, it looks like. The bomb is still in T-mid. They want to hit this inner bomb site, get some kills, take over the train yard, and hopefully have Major just kind of lurk and sneak out, but that's not going to happen. Too many players have died. He's already made his move, and they're going to spot that out with ease. The idea doesn't pan out. It's 3-3. It's all tied up. A really solid, dominant round from Navi.
Yeah, I mean, using player fakes to try to sneak outside on train, it's just unreasonably difficult. I think like you could they could understand that you're going inner and just use 3 people to die in front of you as you try to jump out to plant the bomb. I think you have a better chance to do that. But sometimes you got to change it up. Can't be too obvious.
Speaking of changing things up, we mentioned Major was, you know, the best opera in the server on Mirage. Calyx has got it now. There's Electronic. Finding the opening kill. That pop flash didn't work out the way that Space Soldiers would have liked. And he's going to be able to fall all the way back, play it passively. Navi have a man advantage. They don't need to risk a whole lot. And actually a shoulder peek almost gives Calyx exactly what he wants.
Down to 4 on another rifle round. This early in the round kind of sucks on T side. I mean, it's really hard to work a default, and so, you know, coming back from losing an opening kill, there's going to be less opportunities for fights. It's really not fun to have to do this.
Especially if you're an operator like Calyx trying to have some time to get some picks over in that mid-connector area. Just nades, Molotovs ringing in. Simple's now got some angles, so you've got to be very cautious how you peek.
Oh, wow.
Timing there almost punished Simple. There's a nice pop flash. Santeros finds 2. He swings out wide. That's a pair of commanding kills. Electronic has now rotated in, and there's Edward with the peek. Still alive. Still aggressive, and he catches out Paz in the open, and Calyx still hasn't been able to get into the action with this AWP, working his way out. Finds one. There goes Edward. Down into a one-on-one, 30 seconds left, and Zeus has to find a way to get close up, knowing it's an AWP, and I think he might get caught, and he does. Great job from Calyx.
Yeah, good patience. Really feel that situation out, make sure that all of the usual angles are cleared out, and there he is in one of them. Coming up, old bomb to just play that 1v1 from the back of it. I don't know if he realized Calyx hadn't recovered the bomb or not. Maybe that's why he pushed that far or played it the way he did.
I think he assumed that Calyx was going to go for the bomb, right? At the very least. It's such a tough call to make if you're Zeus and you're in those behind the trains that far back against an AWP, and you know you just have to get closer. Regardless, good response from Space Soldiers, but they've got to do it again. Edward spamming through the smoke, trying to find the angle in towards T main. It's all down to timing here. Calyx waiting for any information.
Not doing anything blindingly fast. Fast as NaVi are actually low on grenades, so kind of a longer round here for Space Soldiers will probably benefit them if they do bait out the rest of these smokes. Be able to do what they want.
On the other hand, I mean, the reason why they're so low on nades is they've switched into the double op setup, right? Flamey has one, and Simple's watching the upper ramp. They turn the corner and just get blasted. Misses the follow-up shot, but there's the M4 at the bomb train, doing some damage, holding him at bay. Simple's brought down low, so it's going to have to be Zeus who can find nothing. Simple, there he is chiming in. Trying to pick them off as they enter into the bomb site. Misses another one. Calyx now getting involved, and Simple eventually taken out. Too many peeks, but Flamey is here in a 2-on-2. Major's going to bring it down, but he's got the bomb and he's very pushed up. USP is out for Flamey. He just wants to stop him from getting into the site. It's a very awkward situation to be in for Flamey as he works his way up a ramp.
Oh, he knows what's up. I mean, I guess the bomb has to change hands. Oh man, it's the weaker player left alive. The USP here is whipped out. He knows that Major's low. I don't know who gave him that info, but he's confident. So almost certainly he'll drop this for a rifle, realizes that Major could also go outside or fake it back in, so he's going to take his time on the rotate, come through Z late. Here's that bomb go down. Know almost exactly where it is, and realizes at this point, if Major doesn't make noise, how far he could have gone. So, wow, he gets the headshot in response. I can't believe it.
That is an unreal clutch. What a beautiful shot.
Damn.
I mean, like you said, he pulls out his USP immediately. They told him, they're like, oh, it's not Major. Major's the one that's low. Couldn't find it whatsoever. Looked like Flamey was going to have the jump, but just a second slow, and Major was able to consider the angle in time. And now it's back on the pistols for NaVi.
What's the joke? I mean, for, Virtus Pro, you got Virtus Premier, which is the, what's the NaVi?
I'm sure we can think of one.
Yeah.
We'll give it to the end of the map.
We can really pull the viewers, too, to come up with something.
Yeah, tweet us your suggestions. Well, it's a shooting gallery coming down lower ramp for the AK-47s. Electronic does get one kill, but now Calyx is trying to farm. It's not going to happen. Good dink comes out from Simple. Follow up on Engine. He wants nothing to do with that fight, but no real danger of losing this round for Space Soldiers. Especially as Xantares has perfect positioning. It's going to be a 6, though, for Space Soldiers, and if you're NaVi in this third map, I think you've got to be feeling a little bit stunned right now after how Mirage played out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'd save being stunned for the loss if that happens. I'd just be more like cold sweat phase. Which
is better, Lockers, cold sweat or stunned?
As long as they're one at a time, I can handle them. Yeah, it's getting dire. I mean, it's expensive. You've got expensive habits on the CT side. Incendiaries cost a lot, but you also need them.
Need the kits as well. They have no kits into this round, so any retakes they get involved in will have to be relatively quick. Space Soldiers goes back to a bit of a default. Engine now the first one out T-mid. This time there's no Molotov to deal any damage like when Paz tried to make it happen. Seems to be a tactic for Space Soldiers based on spawn, and unfortunately as Engine turns the corner, Edward spots his leg out underneath the corner of the train. Easy kill there. Major tapping away, can't find the kill, and they all come out for NaVi very quickly. 3 right at the same time, essentially, and it's just Calyx and Xantares. They know one is over towards Ivy, and they've gotten aggressive in T-mid as well, so no real chance for Xantares to help his team out, and this looks like it's going to be a pretty clean win for NaVi.
Yeah, it's hard to say even what was really different there from Navi. I mean, they kind of just played the game they're used to. Maybe Space Soldiers sped up their defaults a little bit, and that's what gave them more opening kills. Too many dry fights, potentially.
Well, now there's a chance. So hold the phone. Oh, that half-second earlier. Too early for Xantares. Looked like he was going to be prepared for that, but 2 kills is going to help keep the money just a little bit in check. 4th for Navi. Although, unfortunately, Space Soldiers looks like if they want to invest into this, if they want to buy into it, it's going to be rough. So I feel like they're going to sit this out, maybe invest in some pistols and light armor on guys like Major and Calyx. But for the most part, this is going to be an economy-building round for Space Soldiers.
A couple of flashes to work with between Major and Calyx.
Love that.
Everybody holding W towards inner. Going to do something I think similar to their fake outside. Major has the bomb again. This time he's going Ivy. The thing I don't like about this is just how far you are from, as the choke point, how far you are from the bomb plant zone itself. It's just so much running to do. This is going to make it any easier. They've got so much info. Don't see the bomb as well.
No, but the kill. Look at what it's done to Flamey on the defense. He's the one defending Ivy, and he's evacuated. He's all the way in connector now. Unfortunately, because they don't keep up the pressure, Major with the bomb slows things down. There's an opportunity now. Although, I mean, if they go down ladder, they're in for a really, really rough time.
Yeah. Makes you wonder.
They're doing the drop, though, the stack. Here it comes, and there's Electronic. Exactly like you said with Fur. Aim at the lower guy, keep the crosshair in the same spot. Glock's not going to get that kill.
It feels like they had a chance to get that bomb plant. They had a window to go and do it. If they had just, you know, continued with the B hit and then had that bomb come out of Ivy. Oh.
He's going to hunt that down. He's going to go for it. The nade slows him down, though. And Major gets dropped by Flamey. Any more kills that Calyx can get here, if he just gets one more, that'd be huge. That'd be great, but he's not able to pull it off. NaVi clawing themselves to make sure that this scoreline stays close. Op is going to be back in Simple's hands as well. It's been a few rounds since we've seen that. Nice kills from Electronic.
Yeah, it was a good, precarious situation for sure. But yeah, like as they get the kill inner, and then they stop making noise. You gotta assume that they pulled someone in the ladder, but they were relying really heavily on that one rifle they had to get the kill.
Novice Vincer.
Novice Vincer.
It's
okay.
not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not. I feel like it's not. I mean, I'm not trying to be savage or harsh, but I feel like it's not like harsh enough. I don't know.
I got a couple of responses that were just not as Premier.
Not as Premier.
You know, that's just.
Oh, that. Well, yeah.
That's just.
I guess
too
that's
easy.
just too easy, but it makes sense.
6-5, Space Soldiers with the lead, but they've lost a couple in a row. And now it's a much more intimidating defense. Now you have 4 kits. Now you have Molotovs, you have smokes, and you have the op on Simple, and you do not have Calyx with an op himself. Remember, he did win that big 1-on-2 clutch earlier in this to get them started on a pretty, relatively small 3-round win streak. 6 rounds already in the half is quite nice. They'd like to build upon it.
If possible.
Holy hell, look how nervous Navi. It feels like Navi's super nervous at the moment. All 5 players, essentially. Well, one's in ladder room. 4 players have cheated over towards B. They had the right read, but they give it up. They go back. And now Simple with the AWP. All that timing is really unfortunate. They've spotted him out in the wide peak from Xantares. That's stellar play. Single-handedly taking over this inner bomb site, and I think Navi's just out of this round.
What on earth just happened? I mean, really, like, they were set up really well for that. All the pre-nades came out. They were fully aware that there was potential for B. They had an op and a rifle. 1 person dedicated to watching the lower ramp. 2 players come through with smoke. I mean, silver platter.
I mean, the timing of that worked out so well for Space Soldiers because it feels like they caught him in like a really awkward like rotation timing because Navi had 4 players there watching B, and then as soon as they start moving to go back outside and recover their positions, like Space Soldiers was quiet for just long enough to make them feel like it wasn't going to be a B hit, and then they catch them in a situation where probably the players inside the site aren't ready for their teammates to kind of leave, and they're kind of about to get into a new position, timing with Simple's op. A couple different things happen, but great entries from Xantares either way.
Yeah, that helps too. He was pretty clean with them. He was jumping over the smoke. Takes down Zeus.
This one is great.
Yeah. Simple might have held on to that angle. Just a little bit too tight.
7-5 and another pause is going to come out.
There's a mid-match coffee. That coffee's not going to work before the end of the match.
It's not going to kick in.
There's no map for my friend.
No, they've got to. I mean, NaVi's got to figure out exactly what they want to do, and they have. This is pretty risky at this stage in the game. It's 7-5 for Space Soldiers on the T side, and NaVi's going to buy up into this round. You'll see it in just a second, obviously. Simple's got an AWP, 2 UMPs around it, and a Deagle and a 5-7. What do you make of this, Launders? You like it?
Basics. I mean, I've lived the frugal life, so I mean, maybe I could make the most of it. Who knows?
Pop flash to help protect Major, help him try and get an opening kill. Nothing comes from that.
I guess they were in a spot where if they saved one, they still wouldn't have been doing too great.
Yeah, still wouldn't have had a great buy.
It is tricky nearing the end of the half. I could totally see the appeal, especially with like having Simple to. Whoa, okay, there we go.
You love that. Nice job from Electronic. He's kind of figured it out, it feels. Heard the footsteps, perhaps. He was shoulder peeking from outside of ladder room, and they're going to try and clear ladder, and Edward's going to be here for an easy first kill and a second. The headshot follow-up. Calyx with the AWP picks him off, and this buy, this risky buy, it looks like it's going to work out. Calyx trying to throw as many guns away as possible.
He just showed you a magic trick.
Yeah. There you go. Well, little does he know, they already have an AWP on Simple, but it at least defends against the double op setup for free. P250, Zeus jumping around the corner. Calyx still finds that kill. Not able to get anything else. So NaVi 6-7, trying to close this out with an advantage in the first half. Have a good opportunity to equalize things at 7-7 at the very least, because it's a little bit of a beat-up situation, economically speaking, for Space Soldiers.
It is, yeah. I think I don't know if Space Soldiers realized that NaVi had enough already last round. So they went ahead and hid the other one.
Not sure there's any way they could have known that, right?
Yeah, he didn't shoot, right?
No, I don't think so.
So they might be surprised by them having one now, though they know that NaVi won. So anything's on the table. And here it is, another 4 spies. They run down the lower ramp, this time into 2 people dedicated to watching it. A third is already rotated in, and he has put in a lot of work there. Electronic with a nice spray to clean it up, do the extra 150 damage, close the round out quickly.
Tried the old brush, doesn't work out. Zeus with the opening kill, and Simple follows it up, and they just bottleneck all of Space Soldiers on that lower ramp. Quite nice from NaVi. And obviously a huge advantage in this last round of the first half.
That buy is kind of interesting because they had, you know, a few rifles. They're moving to the next round. This round could have been a lot better of a buy. They did something that they've done already this half, at least a couple of times.
Well, we'll see if it works out. Deagle's out for Flamey. Doesn't get that one kill, but Simple finishes it off for him. Interesting, Simple took the AK-47 and Flamey took the op, and there's a good shot on the Xantares, but it seemed like there was potential in this kind of a hit. It's just, you know, the pistols coming out for Space Soldiers aren't doing enough damage. Perhaps AKs could have done it better. Regardless, winning pistol round, putting up a pretty solid first half is Space Soldiers. 7-8, they're going to switch over to the defense, and NaVi, they're going to have to reach back and roll back the years to the days where they could just win as many T-sided rounds on train as they wanted. We'll see if they can do it when we return from the break.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, the City of Odense, GeForce GTX, Lenovo Legion, Bedway, Pay Safeguard, Logitech G, Mountain Dew League, Xfinity, and ESEA.
Not a whole lot of people thought that this was going to be much of a series, but this third map is as close as it could get after one half. 7-8. Space Soldiers down just one round into the second half pistol. They did win the first half pistol round, so winning both would be a great start to upsetting across the series off the back of a huge comeback on Mirage.
There is a ton of pressure here for both teams. They're, really looking at, they're writing off the last two maps, the map they won and last map they lost. They don't care about that anymore. It's really just coming down to this pistol, these next few rounds. How to start off this last half of their day with momentum. And it's actually going to be Simple to take charge. 2 Glock headshots as they run up Ivy, and he might continue to put on the pressure with Paz. It's actually Zeus who picks him up, but that's all they really need as a team.
Yeah, Daddy's back. Simple with 2 quick headshots to open up the round. That's one way to get things started, and Simple kind of saying that he's not going to let him lose here. Major trying to get a flank going on, but no real shot of him winning. They now know exactly where he is as well. I mean, if that's, one way to close this out for NaVi is to have Simple just kind of go absolutely ham on this T side.
Yep.
Remember as well, kind of one of the scary things is the T side is what failed them on Mirage, so you got to feel a little nervous. I almost think if you're NaVi, how has this happened?
I don't actually know. I mean, it's technically not out of the round yet. 10-second defuse. He's hoping everybody turned tail and ran away, but at this point, I mean, he's trying to collect $300 at a time. I feel like maybe put that to good use next round. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, they've got to put a lot of rounds on the board to win in regulation. They have to put up 8 T rounds. Pistol rounds could start, obviously.
Yeah, that definitely helps, but I totally see your point. I mean, they just, in general, on T side, don't look all that coordinated.
I think they only got, they only got 3 rounds on T side. And then on the other hand, their T side and Inferno looked pretty solid, so.
I've mentioned this before. It was just like some consistent theme with Guardian. It was like at the end of every interview where they didn't have a good event. He kept talking about how there was like trust issues and the communication was their main issue and just never got solved. And so maybe that's just
still going on a little bit.
Maybe
some residuals.
That's just something they haven't figured out for some reason.
Here's a chance. Going to be aggression towards upper ramp. Major playing a big role, and Edward not even prepared for that whatsoever. Would Flamey with a quick trade. And I think they're just going to continue forward. They have no one else anywhere on the map, so they just want to hit into this B bomb site, and Simple just wants to take off heads. Nice shot onto Xantares. They're going to get the bomb planted. They've got a UMP close up, but they've got AKs at range, so NaVi should feel pretty secure in this round.
Good kill from Paz, actually. 3v3. Bomb just went down. I mean, there's lots of time to work on this. Take these angles safely. Get some safe dinks off. I mean, the Molotov's released, but they go 1-for-1 because of it. Calyx has full HP, a CZ, a Dream. And that's a Dream that gets shut down. Simple's tired of it. He wants to win this map. Now they're in double digits. 10-7 for NaVi. And it wasn't the cleanest anti-eco, but they get the bomb down, they get the 2 people alive, they can rebuy.
And now they just go to full farm mode. They just bought up like 3 Mac 10s.
Oh, hell yeah.
No, they didn't. I'm incorrect. They were trading them around, which is where I got confused. 2 Mac 10s though, 3 AK-47s. And there they are out mid. Simple's going to try and get some money in the bank, try and build that up. Edward takes it away. The Mac 10's pushing forward. They're both taken out. Now it's the AKs who've got to do the work. USPs and P2000's winning so far in some of these fights. Engine's the last one left. They know where he is. And there he goes, but not a bad round for Space Soldiers overall.
Yeah, it was 6 kills in total in these last 2 rounds, and that was just a full USP eco. Jason attempted to take down our set in the middle of the round.
11-7 into the first gun round, and you could see Major there. Maybe he's just a CT sided op. Maybe that's what it is. He wants a defensive op.
I mean, that's a real thing. I mean, you say that kind of like in jest, but we've seen it, right? Like some players are just more comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not against the idea. Let's see how this works. Edward, does he spot anything?
I mean, oh, I see.
Oh my lord.
Jesus.
God bless it all. And as it fades just a little bit, Major's already lined up. That's a nice little gift. Delayed Christmas present. Simple with 1 pick. He continues his tear, and there's Electronic right through the smoke. Engine makes his presence known. Simple with another headshot. He's opening everything up for these guys. NaVi's made their way out of the train yard, and Paz is stuck at the bomb train. He's all alone. Major's now here at Connector, but he can do nothing. It's Simple. 3 kills for him. The bomb's back in T-spawn, though.
We have not has his perspective very much because there's so many other kills going on, but you can tell he's just pissed. I mean, he's always out in the open. I love it, dude. It's crazy, but it's awesome.
I mean, he's obviously not in the mood to lose any relegation matches. This can be a little bit dicey, but you like it. Simple's at low HP. He's just going to wrap all the way around, help defend, and any second now he's going to have this kill. There it is.
It's like, how did he get there? It's because he's just moving with so much confidence right now.
Yep. 12-7. And the trouble is, as good as the first half as it was for Space Soldiers, they need to start winning quick. This second half could just go real easy for NaVi. I think there's one more buy round, and if Space Soldiers can't convert that one, it might just be all over.
Yeah, and we know that their buying decisions aren't exactly well informed at all times. So maybe if they do get in a position where it's like late in the half, they don't make a sound one, put themselves in a bad spot to defend against match point.
Cool thing is we haven't even really had to, we haven't even seen a whole lot of like strats or tactics out of NaVi. They're just letting Simple body everyone.
It's probably exactly what they were hoping to be able to do. So
listen, please.
Yeah, don't make this too complicated, Space Soldiers.
Simple just waiting for anyone to push out towards Ivy. NaVi in general just being very passive, looking for any aggression out of the Space Soldier side.
That's what you're supposed to do, right? Like, you convince the Taekwondo master to fist fight you, right? Like, you can't beat me with fists, you know? You can't beat me standing up.
Isn't Taekwondo a defensive martial arts?
I mean, I think that's just something you say, but like, who's really learning a martial art to defend themselves? They're learning to kick butt.
Well, Electronic now going to lead the way. Here comes light aggression, probing, if you will, from Electronic and Edward as they're kind of peering out, trying to find information. Simple's going to get the pick. There is a flank coming in for Space Soldiers. Could have something to do if it gets there in time, but losing too many teammates, and Electronic's ready for it. Xanter's with one kill. Now the footsteps have been heard. An easy kill. Xanter's just seeing what he can do with his deagle at long range, tagging up Edward. Can't complete the kill, though. It's going to be a 13th for NaVi. And like I said, pretty much one more buy round, and it could just be over.
Yeah. So it's kind of a question of how do Space Soldiers stop them from, or how do they stop playing NaVi's game, you know? And I think that just starts in the early round, making sure that NaVi can bust out T-Con quickly, which is not that difficult to do as long as you have nades. You can really, you know, delay 20-30 seconds at least. Yeah,
they've got him. I mean, the big thing as well that we've seen, I mean, if you think back towards pistol round, towards that previous gun round, the one who's opening everything, as we mentioned a number of times, is Simple. And how do you stop Simple? I mean, fortunately for them, he's got, I mean, I guess not really that fortunately, but he has an AWP, so he can't be like as hyper aggressive as we've seen him with the AK-47 with the Glock, right? He's got to like find and pick his battles. There's a double op set up on the Space Soldier side, so if they get into a position early enough, they might be able to beat him to an angle. That'd be a good start. Yeah,
they're gonna do the, you know, let them come this time, I think, but this time they're gonna have ops, so they're gonna be like in a better spot to do it, and that could definitely work. I thought initially, you know, use Molotovs on T-Con and delay, but there it is, you know, Engine's just like, okay,
beat him to an angle.
Yeah, beat him to an angle. They have a lot of outs in that round.
Well, we'll see what the response is from NaVi here. Nades are out, and there's the second op. So at least they know, NaVi, what they're going up against. But now, if they're going to switch to this double op setup, get some kills, beat up this economy, get 2 to 3 this round. It's an expensive strategy. Got to have some success. Calyx with an AK-40, or I mean, excuse me, with the M4. Going to drop Zeus and find the follow-up. Not ideal for NaVi.
No. Great round for Space Soldiers, though.
I mean, you couldn't get anything better switching into a double op that your 2 AWPs get the initial contact.
2 kills. Yeah. This makes it so much easier to get the next ones as well. You know your teammates are going to take much damage. And rifle kill to finish it off. 1 kill total for NaVi on that round. So it's you know, it's just diametrically different from the rest of that half.
I expect we'll see a faster pace out of NaVi. I think that'll kind of be the conversation will be, let's get more grouped up, let's not spread out, let's not run into these 2 AWPs, and let's hit something with relative speed. You know, maybe not like a full-on rush, but, you know, you do one of those plays where as soon as contact is made, you're exploding into the side, because you want to force them to get into like a retake idea. Here's Zeus out mid, just bombing grenades over towards Ivy, flashing back. Hopefully that Opera engine was there last time. It's Calyx this time. Space Soldiers is centralized. 3 players around the bomb train, now a 4th.
Ooh.
They're all stuck in the bomb train, so opportunity here for Navi. They've got them all cordoned off in one small area. Zeus gonna peek from the flank. He sees absolutely nothing. Molotov's now out towards the bomb train, forcing Space Soldiers into the open. Xanter's is gonna get that first kill. Right outside the reach of the flames, it's Zeus who's fallen down. Navi's gone a little bit passive now. Edward pounces. There's pass from up top. He's traded out immediately into a 3-on-3. And now you've put the ops in a retake scenario. Now this gets scary for Space Soldiers. Calyx has moved close up, trades off Simple. Bombs planted. Edward can't get away, though. He's got to stand and ground and fight. And there's Calyx, finds the timing on it. 1-on-2 for Flamey from Ivy. Gonna take an angle. Gonna peek out. Here's the footsteps. They've lined up. He gets them both with a spray down. It's beautiful and it's perfect. Space Soldiers almost make it happen. But Flamey shuts him down, gets a pat on the back from his teammates. 14-8, and that is crushing.
That's crushing, yeah. I mean, that's such a Flamey thing to do. I feel like I've seen that round a million times from him. The 1v2 spray down makes it look simple. And yeah, that was a good call, though. I mean, that was really all positioning to corral them, as you pointed out. Everyone behind the bomb train, you know. That was a tough spot for the CTs to be in.
I mean, it was almost given to him by Space Soldiers. All of them. No one really wanting to take those long-range fights. The ops weren't outside. There's a good kill from Major. Aggressive in an off angle that Edward's not going to expect. Maybe got caught sleeping. Because of that kill, Major's going to fall back, but no one has rotated inside for Space Soldiers. They're completely happy to have 4 people out here. It's 4 AKs they're going against. That's a rough flash. Right through the smoke. Simple again. Double kill comes through. Calyx still trying to fight at the blue train at Sandwich. Finally, Simple goes down. That's a big kill. Calyx swinging out wide. He's got an awkward fight. Flamey does eventually kill him. Now he needs to retreat and go get the bomb. Zeus has taken over inside, so this is the play. Zeus has crept up all along. They have no idea he's here. He can stop them from rotating back towards the inner bomb site.
This is kind of an interesting spot because, you know, he doesn't want to overextend past the point that he actually just ruins it by being in a spot they might clear. And we can see that, you know, that just the important thing for him is to make sure his teammate can get in the site first.
He's also got to stay close enough to inner to make sure that no one can rotate through CT spawn to get towards the inner bomb site. That's this play from Major, depending on how Zeus handles this, could be the one thing that shuts this down.
Yeah, it looks like timing will be on the side of Navi. Flamey makes his way down the ramp. And if the bomb goes down, this is a whole different round. I mean, it's going to be an unconventional plant, but they are really taking their time here. Major has finally made his way up to Cloud. He's jumped up, made noise, and they don't know where the bomb is. There it is. Flamey goes down.
Zeus hears this, though, turns around, finds that kill. He's cut off the flank. Now they both know where they are. Bomb is planted for Zeus. That is crazy. He found the timing to get into a completely different position, and Major's in a whole world of trouble. Top of the train. I think Major might have spotted that. He's tapped the bomb. Yeah, he's looking at top of the train. Zeus hasn't peeked just yet. Jumps down, and he sees the bullets, and he's just toying with them. Flashbang's going to go out. Peeks, shoots, sees the spray.
Yeah, perfect.
And Major's done for. This is going to be a 15th from Navi, thanks to the play from Zeus. Didn't seem like they had a great chance to win that round, but Zeus makes all the right calls.
That was well done. Really well done. I mean, he couldn't have flowcharted that better in terms of like how to delay, so that was great.
I mean, even just the play towards the inner bomb site, just walking all the way up sidewalk, cutting off the rotations. Even when his teammate goes down, he's just in too strong of a position. So a really nice tactically won 2 versus 2, which you love to see.
Definitely love to see it. And this could be the last round of the game now. Like, Space Soldiers are crushed economically. Like, they got 5 kills last round, but that's not enough to keep Navi in a position where they're going to be struggling here. They've got 5 AKs, a lot of grenades too. And they know that, you know, Space Soldiers have 7 match points to go now at this point, so it's a whole different level of pressure.
Yeah, and now I mean, the first one is the hardest, right? When you have 2 CZs and a Deagle. You have 2 M4s, sure, but Flamey's going to catch Paz out in the open. No one there to cover him or to support him or help him out in any way. There's a good kill onto Edward, but this Navi machine is just going to hit this inner bomb site. Nowhere for Space Soldiers to go.
How Sean Connery
I've said it so many times today that it's just...
Sean Connery said space.
Space shoulders. Low HP on 2 players. Flamey takes out 1. There goes Simple. Nice shot from Calyx with the Deagle. Engine's coming in for the flank, and he's really the last hope to keep this match alive. Gonna come down ramp, gonna find that kill onto Flamey. It's just Zeus, but they're so low, he can toy with them, and again, it's a clutch for the captain. 16-8. NaVi survive a scare on Mirage, a comeback for Space Soldiers there. And a good first half from Space Soldiers as well, but NaVi just dominant on this T side.
Yeah, and you know, those first 2 maps were killer. That one was a little bit more convincing, and at the first half, though, we saw it be as close as it possibly could. So I think Space Soldiers' hearts were in it the whole time. But to delve more into it, we've got our analyst on standby, so take it away, guys.
Thank you very much, and it was indeed a bit of a scare there going into the final map. I think it's safe to say, even for you, Bach, that we didn't know what exactly was going to happen here. The analyst desk was split, casters not so much, but at the end of the day, NaVi did come back. NaVi did succeed and take control of this series 2-1.
Yeah.
I mean, someone's got to root for him. and like, everyone's like, oh, it's NaVi. It's super easy. NaVi's going to win this. I'm like, come on, guys. Like, they did beat them with a stand-in once. Let's give them some credit. And at first, I was like, oh, I'm going to be the ultimate predictor. I told you so. And then it was the opposite of what we saw in the previous maps, where it was NaVi getting off to a strong start and then, you know, fumbling. It was the other way around.
Yeah, actually, Space Soldiers actually did really well on their T side there to mount, I believe, 8 rounds or 7 there on that first half. Either way, they did a really good job. They basically kept it at exactly where they needed to keep it going into their CT side. But NaVi, just way too strong there to finish it out on their T side. That was a great play from them. And 16-8. Honestly, I did not see it hitting that type of a scoreline, especially with Space Soldiers moving to their CT side. But NaVi, they had a great T side overall.
Well, what was your initial prediction? Like, what did you expect initially?
I think I said 16-10, 16-11.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, like, I thought it was going to be a really close game, and it wasn't as close as I expected. I thought Space Soldiers would do a little bit better. So did you.
Yeah.
I mean, I may have said the Space Soldiers was going to win. I may not have said that. You never know.
No, you said it.
No,
definitely.
Oh, you 100%.
There's no getting out of this. There's video evidence. And you guys at home can also check the VODs as well if you're interested, as going over to the ESL YouTube channel and checking everything out there. As we got plenty of that available right here on YouTube. It's going to be right over at youtube.com/ESLCS. Like that. I like the way I segued into that one. Right?
Yeah,
that
was good. That was nice.
Smooth.
Yeah, that was good.
I was right in the moment. I took the initiative on that one.
I love how active Evan is with his hands on the desk. Like, you know, I do like little hands.
Very animated.
Do you remember in Talladega Nights? Do you remember in Talladega Nights where Ricky Bobby didn't know what to do with his hands? He's just like, where do I put them?
Yeah. That's right now.
No, but I mean, that was a great series. NaVi, they're extending their chances of staying in that Pro League spot. Space Soldiers, they'll be dipping down into that lower bracket to keep their dreams alive, and it's going to be interesting.
And we should clarify again, because I know in previous seasons this has been the case, but it was changed last season. The relegation is now done on a double elimination bracket. It's no longer just a straight 1 best-of-3 against whoever your corresponding, you know, relegation partner team is. It's an actual bracket now. So this does not mean Space Soldiers are out of their chance to claim Pro League just yet. This also does not mean NaVi are in. Both teams still have to play at least 1 more best-of-3 in order to qualify or get knocked out of the running.
Yeah, there's the bracket right there.
And we can
Unfortunately, time is TBD due to the fact that Godsent was having trouble traveling to the States. I think like 2 players made it, and they landed like, hello?
Yeah, where's the rest of my team?
Like, they had no idea what happened. They got turned around. There was all sorts of issues. I mean, everyone knows what happened. But
due to weather delays.
Yeah, weather delays pushed players back to Germany, actually. If I'm not mistaken, the plane took off and then turned right back around and came home. They boomeranged. So it's unfortunate. We'll get more of a NA Pro League relegation match, but instead of EU.
100%. But yeah, no, I thought overall that was a pretty cool match. I was really happy with Zeus there. I mean, he won it with Gambit for the major on train, and I'm glad he took that 3rd series on train again. It just shows that the IGL of Zeus, man.
Yeah.
He's such a good IGL. I love listening to him. I love watching his calls. I love watching any team that he's on play.
He's single.
Sadly, we saw some somewhat lackluster performances from the individuals on Space Soldiers in that match too. Engine specifically, I didn't see it at the very end of the game, so I don't know if he got it more, but he was only around like 4 or 5 kills the entire match.
The worst part for Engine was that he also had that 1v0 that he lost against AGO. I mean, he was sitting on the summit train, and he gets the kill, jumps off in celebration, hits the ground, dies, and the round is won by
Pressure
AGO.
gets to you sometimes, you know.
It's something about that train. There's like I said, it's the Bermuda Triangle of the map.
That's
like
a real confidence dropper, you might say.
Yeah, exactly.
And you only think that, like, he ended what 6 and 20, I believe there. So if he puts up even maybe 10 more frags, 9 more frags, that's a difference in the round, right? Maybe he picks off the guy that opened up the round for them when he went down, right? So fortunately, Engine not coming up as big as he should have been. I feel like that was the biggest impact in Space Soldier's misfortune there.
Well, it is time now to move over to North America, as we will be completing the North American relegation bracket here. And speaking of which, let's bring that up onto the screen now and take a look. We here on the mainstream are going to be covering GX versus Team Rogue. And over there on the secondary stream, they're going to be showing Rise Nation versus Ghost Gaming today. How do we see this bracket panning out, gentlemen, just right at the start of it now?
I mean, that first game I feel like is maybe a little bit more predictable. I kind of have Rogue taking it potentially, but it should be a close game. I don't think either team has an easy game. It's the second one that I'm like, I don't know what to expect, because Ghost Gaming always come out and surprise. I mean, Ghost Gaming, they even said it. They're like, it's somehow we constantly stick around. Like, we barely made it to MDL Global Challenge the last season.
And then they made their way to Pro.
Because they came in, they were like 8-6 or something like that. No, they were 7-7. They needed to win that last match to get the final seed. They beat the number one team, United, to get that spot. Then they played them first round of the playoffs, beat them in a best of 3, almost beat Enigma 6, won the third fourth cider match to make it to LAN, and then also won their Pro League relegation move-up match. Yeah. And then they said it just feels like every time that we're supposed to get screwed, like something happens and we just get right back into it. So this season it was Immortals basically dying, getting the auto relegation, and now Ghost gets a second chance.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you know, I know from experience how much they've been practicing. I even sat in on 1 or 2 practices myself while they were playing, and they are grinding their way. This last month of December has been CS, 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 CS. I know the practice schedule starts at 3 p.m., and they're going all the way till 11, so they're hard into CS right now. It's good to see, and I definitely think that Rise Nation will have a harder time with this team than they're expecting.
All right, guys. Well, our next match is coming up here in just a couple of minutes. It is, once again, going to be GX taking on Team Rogue. So stick with us. We'll be coming back with more action right here from the ESL Pro League relegation.
Try box.